What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to 3-Star Draw. I am down south of 77, and as you know, this is an adult collector channel where we talk about G.I. Joe, mostly G.I. Joe Classified when we do it, and every now and then we're going to take a look at some other stuff that I'm interested in, different things I like to have on the shelf, and I like to show you guys, bring you guys along down that rabbit hole with me, and today is going to be one of those videos. Now, it is almost spooky time. My favorite time of year, spooky season. I love fall. Halloween is my favorite holiday by far. You could just about get rid of any of the other ones and give me another Halloween and I'd be fine with it. And that being said, horror movies are, of course, my favorite genre of movie. Always have been. I'm sure they always will be. But I don't really go down the horror collectible rabbit hole. I used to have a bunch of that stuff, especially like posters and promos whenever new stuff would come out on DVD or even VHS. I used to have a lot of that stuff, and I did have a lot of the original McFarlane Movie Maniacs, because those were really some of the first like horror figures that we got. But right now, it's just a rabbit hole that I can't go down. There's so many awesome ones out there. I've got to really pick and choose because it's not my main thing that I collect. But once in a while, something comes along that is so cool, I need to pick it up. That's why I like the figure Obscura so much. The Red Death, Headless Horseman are two of my favorite figures that I've got. And when something's just unique enough, I'll pick it up if I can. And I finally got a hold of something that I'd actually forgotten about. I found this browsing online at a really good price on it, and I knew this was coming out or had come out. I'd just forgotten all about it. It's right in my wheelhouse though. So I picked up the Mezco Theodore Sodcutter. The preview exclusive version. This is the Ghostly Ghoul edition. Come out right, I believe, toward the end of last year. And I remember seeing the figure, and I think I saw it on A Punk with Toys when he was showing news and showing, well, knock myself out with it, showing stuff that was coming out. And I remember thinking, man, that is so awesome. I'd love to have that. Put that out because it's just creepy, man. And I was browsing a website the other day, a retail toy website, and they actually had it in stock for a good price. This is the third version, I believe, of Theodore Sodcutter. I don't have either one of the other ones because I don't really go deep down Mezco. This is only my third Mezco. My other two are G.I. Joes, but I do really like Mezco's their stuff, their in-house stuff, and that's what this guy is. He is Gangrene Estates is the subline that he is out of in Mezco's stuff. He comes with this awesome magazine style comic book. Some really awesome art in there. We'll take a look at it. I've already read it. I took him out of the bag last night, but I hadn't opened him yet. But I'm really excited to get this guy out and take a look at him, get him on the shelf, and it's almost creepy time. So I have a feeling this guy's going to be really awesome for pictures. So I'm really looking forward to it. So let's go ahead and get him out and check him out. He's Mezco. He comes with a ton of stuff that all looks great. Squee! All right, before we take a look at Theodore, we'll just kind of flip through this. Kind of advertisement for Gomez there. Another probably Mezco's mascot, probably their most famous of their in-house property stuff. So just some of the art in it, and it's got a couple different art styles in it, really well done. It's got, like, I think 3 different stories in it. 4 different stories, I believe, and all different types of stuff in there. So just show that. Pretty neat. And a little advertisement in the back for some of their other guys, some of their other um, kind of their creepier stuff that he fits in with. And then on the back, you got an old time ad for some of the different Mezco stuff that you can order. Just really done, really well done magazine. It's really slick. Let you know just kind of how creepy this dude is. It did arrive in bagged, but it did have the corners are got kind of crunched on it. But I mean, aside from it being part of the collector's package, I was gonna take it out and read it anyway. So of course you got your Rumble Society logo up there, Mezco. So we'll go ahead and set it aside and go ahead and take a look at this guy right here. Lift that camera up a little bit. So I really like the box. Kind of got this old grindhouse kind of feel to it, to the font there. And then up here, what's that remind you of? Kind of the vibe that I get from this dude. It's kind of like the Creep Show font, the Creepster font. I love it. I'm here for it. So, artwork on the side. So this guy's kind of a like a play on Jack the Ripper. He's not Jack the Ripper, but I've always had a thing for like really creepy mortician type characters. So get all this stuff out. So it's Mezco, so you know it comes loaded down. So it does have, you've got your Mezco sheet in there, so this will unfold. You want to fold this out into a cool diorama. So dug up old time coffin. It's really neat. I really dig the artwork on it. So we'll set it off to the side here. I'll kind of get this stuff laid out a little bit better, get some more light on, and we'll take a look at it. So he does have some instructions here that are mostly for batteries because this guy has some light up features. So I'll probably have to pause and kind of take a look at that. But he comes with, I believe, 6 different head sculpts is what this figure comes with. You know, it's Mezco, so you're going to get all kind of stuff. There's his scarf, his rope that he comes with. So I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and I'm going to pop all this stuff out and kind of organize it into some piles. I think will be the easiest way. It takes a while to unbox Mezco, so let's go ahead and just do that. So much stuff. So much stuff with this guy. So he comes with a total of 6 pair of hands and 6 heads. A lot of stuff to unpack, and as previously with the other Mezcos that I've got, I did not get the packaging put back together correctly. Um, they are they're like a puzzle. You have to watch the video back to see how it goes back together. So anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at this guy just out of the box. The Crypt Keeper, the Ghoul from Creep Show, the Creep, just all kind of rolled into one. Some awesome soft goods. So the cape does have, or the coat does have wire in it. He's got dust and cobwebs and stuff on him. And I do have to be careful with the elbows. I know the previous version of this guy, there was issues with the elbows. Supposedly they have made them improved on this figure. So, and there is actually on the instructions, it actually specifies bending the elbow. So I'm going to look at that before I really start posing him around. But the soft goods on him feels just absolutely amazing. This is a really soft, like a velvety kind of texture. But let's go ahead and look at the head sculpt that's on him. I love it. And of course, he's got that blue skin tone on this version of him. Other versions had different skin tones, so you got the dirty, the dust and stuff all the way down on the pants, down to the top of the boots. That to me, what the bottom looks like, probably cobweb. It's kind of beading off there. Maybe it is dust and you are meant to kind of spread it around. I hope so. That's what I'm doing. All right. Actual real buttons on the coat. And this does open. It's Velcro. So this is all, looks like two pieces. And he does have a scarf that you can put on him that he comes with. We already saw that. It just looks great. These soft goods that they do on most of these Mezco figures is just amazing. And I know one review I watched said that he had one of his ankles kind of was a little weird. These are a little, they're a little loose, they seem like to me. So we'll see. I don't know what it is with me getting figures that have weird ankles. They are a little loose. The review that I read, I didn't watch one, but I read it. It said that one of his ankles on this figure was really tight. So of course, if there's one that's got loose ankles, you know I'm going to wind up with it. But his feet are big enough. Hopefully that won't be too much of an issue. So let's hopefully, man, I don't know. See if we can get him to stand just a minute. Let's take a look at some of these other head sculpts. So this one got the eye hanging out. Really cool. I love this skin tone. Love the blue. You can see part of his skull on this one. Just the old gray hair. It's like his skin's actually coming off. I love this blue on these figures. The Jacob Marley kind of has a blue as well, but just this evil, like cocky grin on this one. And another thing I see in this figure, especially on this head and the one that comes on him, is Pumpkinhead. I think they probably drew a lot of inspiration from Pumpkinhead for the face sculpt on this guy, the head sculpt. There you got one where he's just got, see his eyes there, like the teeth. It's kind of got the old Pennywise fangs. And then you got another version with the mouth open. Really nice paintwork there on the tongue, the teeth. I'm glad for a second when I first saw these, I thought maybe it would have been really neat if they had splashed some blood on the fangs, but now that I see it, I think it would have kind of looked out of place, maybe on one of the sculpts. And then you got this one with the really elongated jaw and the long tongue, kind of rat fink kind of look to this one. I really like this one. They got the eyes bulging out. So this one's really neat. This is also kind of reminds me, calls back the Jacob Marley figure because he's got the head like this. So then he's got all kind of hands. I'm not going to go through a ton of them. He's got these really elongated fingers, got the grasping. Of course, you got to have pointing with a figure like this. And he's got a couple of grippy hands and a couple of just kind of regular. I guess those are probably grippy hands too. And then I really like this one. He actually comes with an accessory that is, I'll show in a few minutes. It is actually supposed to be his wife's severed head that he carries with him. So it does come with an assortment of little weapons, and these do have blood on them. They're not really weapons, they're instruments, is really more what these are. The stuff you'd find in like a doctor's bag. And there are awesome paintwork on those. And these do, of course, have blood on them. Got a few different knives, 3 different types of knives. I believe what you mean to describe is a Lister knife. I showed that one. He's got the the little saw, the little cranium saw, the hand cranked cranium saw. I thought that was a really cool inclusion to give him. He's got this hook. So he's a grave digger, but apparently he also moonlights as an embalmer. So of course he's got to have a pickaxe, really weathered, several different types of paint on it. You can actually see on the point there where it looks like it's, these are actually going into the ground. You've got more wear on the points, and then you got this old crooked stick for a handle, and kind of the same thing on the shovel. You can really see that wear right there. Of course, it's all got all kind of nicks and dents, leather wrap looking handle. You can even see the bolt where the handle is attached. It's just the detail on some of these. I mean, the NECAs are really, really amazing too, but I don't know. It's kind of a running, NECA and Mezco. I think you probably get a little bit more detail with the NECAs, but you got more posability and not quite as brittle with the Mezco. So he does have, of course, he's a gravedigger and a groundskeeper, so of course he's got a lantern, and this does light up, which I understand is really hard to get the batteries in there, so I plan to do that off camera. And he also has light up eyes, which are kind of hit and miss from what I understand. So he's got this awesome bag. It's like it's a crocodile, gator maybe, skull latch there. This does open up, and the bag does open. Yeah. And it's supposed to open, yeah, wide enough. Got hinges in there. So it's supposed to open wide enough that you can get the head and or the tools in there. I'm not sure if they'll all fit in there at once, but because it's got the leather corner or the metal corner protectors on it, like old trunks and old heavy bags do. But the sculpt work in this bag is just absolutely unbelievable. And of course, it looks all worn and beat up. He does come with 3 different types of hats. He's got a bowler, and a couple of paint apps on it, kind of a grayish blue, and then a black hat band. And he's got kind of a mashed down top hat, same color. They do look a little like they're a little worn. And then he's got a tall top hat, which I really like. I really like this one. We'll see. I'm curious to see how these fit on the heads, though. The way that's molded, I guess maybe the head is molded. Yeah, the head's kind of molded. So that actually that fits on there much better than I would have imagined just taking a look at it, just a glance. I wasn't sure I was going to like the bowler, but the bowler looks good too. They don't fit super duper tight, but they fit tight enough. Yeah. So let's see, what else do we need to see? Of course, he's got his rope that he comes with, and there's his aforementioned scarf. It does have this awesome looking tombstone, and the rope is to tie around the tombstone. He's supposed to be able to carry this on his back. Theodore Sodcutter rests in this spot, dug his last grave, and laid down to rot. Miss Sodcutter is as well in the ground except for her head, which Theodore carries around. I didn't realize it even had that written on the back, so that's fantastic. So let's take a look at Mrs. Sodcutter's head. Oh, I see Mrs. Voorhees. See some Friday the 13th in there. Kind of just withered. That strand of hair's loose there. Just amazing. So this is supposed to go like that so he can actually carry it. It's just absolutely fantastic. I love this kind of stuff. So I am going to let him sit here just a second. I hear that the boss man pretzel probably needs to go outside. Come on, work with me, dude. I think he's gonna fall. All right, so I'm gonna let him chill right there. I'm gonna take pretzel dog out, take a look at these instructions, and see if I can figure out how to get the batteries in this stuff, and we will get him geared up. All right, I don't quite have him how I wanted to get him yet, but I had to show you all this. This is, you ever put together a Mezco, you know how ridiculously frustrating it can be. Okay, so this guy has light up eyes and the lantern lights up. So you have to put batteries in it. If you guys have Destro and his briefcase, so this is the case that the batteries come in. I didn't really show it. I mean, I glanced over it when I took it all out. So look at the size of that battery against my thumbnail. These are the smallest batteries I believe I have ever seen. They are battery type 337 SR416. Look that up. This I can't even pick these batteries up. I have a toothpick and a pair of tweezers here, and the tweezers weren't a lot of help because turns out they're magnetized with the battery. So that was about 30 minutes trying to put batteries in him and in the lantern. It was way more frustrating in the lantern, and I'll show you why. And all of this I read when I was kind of looking this guy up and kind of reading about him. So you got a battery cover here, comes off nice and easy. Those are the two batteries that he comes with. He comes with four. Those are two of them. Trying to get those two batteries lined up with those contacts in there was absolute nightmare. And the switch is under here too, so you got to take the cover off to turn it on. But as you can see, it does have a nice cool glow to it. It does look really neat. And I am going to turn it off because as much trouble as those batteries were to get in there, I am going to leave it off unless I am needing the lantern to display him with. Now I want to show you the head. I did throw this head on him. This one's just so awesome and creepy. I think these two are probably the scariest heads that he comes with. This is the only other one I've put on. So the neck is really interesting on this guy if you don't know, because I didn't until I started reading him. You pull the head off really carefully, and it's not like a lot of figures where it pops on and off. He's got that kind of groove there where it's molded, and it's molded to fit on this piece. So this is the module for the light up eyes. It has two LEDs right down there, and there's the batteries in there. You have to slide them in, and this one was way easier than the lantern. This one only took me about 5 minutes to get everything in there, actually less than that. So this will actually pull off. This is the neck peg for this guy. This module is attached there, and there's your switch. For his glowing eyes. Unfortunately, these LEDs are not very bright, and this is something that I also read when I was reading a little bit about this guy. These LEDs are not really bright, and that light has to make it all the way up through here to light the eyes up. And these batteries could possibly be weak also, but the review I was reading on him said that some of the heads work better than others for that. So that is kind of disappointing there, with knowing that it's not really gonna light up the eyes. Now you can find my toothpick. You can turn this on with the neck attached. There. So you can actually do it with the neck attached. And I'll snap this head back on. And you really you can't even tell with this one at least. Like you can't even really see it with this one. I haven't really tried any other ones. That looks pretty dim to me for LEDs, so I'm hoping these batteries are just kind of weak. I mean, he's cool even without the light up stuff, but that is kind of one of the marketing points for this figure. So that is a little disappointing. I'm going to order some more batteries for this. These batteries, these damn things are probably $5 a piece. So since we're in the neighborhood here, let's check him out with some different head sculpts on him. I didn't snap that down real tight, so I don't remember. I think this was the one that come on. And what's the difference in these two? Okay, so this one's got more. You can see more of his eyes, I think, on this one. See more fangs on this one. Actually, I think these might be the same, other than he's showing more teeth on this one. And I like that he's got this. He's just this really exaggerated, really, really exaggerated long arms. Is just really cool. I like that one. And then let's throw this one on there. This one's pretty interesting. When it stays on, I'm not trying to pop them on real tight, so I can swap them out a lot easier. And that neck actually is rather mobile. There we go. So we got it on a little better. It's got a pretty good range of motion with it. The neck is really, really movable. So that one's just creepy. So you can kind of see I still don't have it seated really good on there. So let's see if we can. I can't really, you can't really see it, and that is in the on position. So that part is a little bit disappointing. So, but all in all, I'm still happy with him. He still looks awesome, and whether or not the eyes really glow well or not, we'll see when I get some more batteries in him. So he's got his fists on. Those come off really easy there. Let's see, I like these. So that's a right hand. There's kind of a grasping hand. That's pretty creepy though, isn't it? Wouldn't want to wake up and see that dude coming after me. I know that. So that's also a right hand. Does he have a? He doesn't have a left pointy hand. I thought he did, but I guess he don't. I think this one is the one that goes with that hand. Yeah. So he's got another graspy. He's got a left graspy. It's just so creepy, isn't it? So the elbow joints for this guy are way up here, and he does not have a ton of range of motion. I haven't really worked the arms around a lot. This right arm at the shoulder, it's pretty tight. But with this guy, with his proportions, you've kind of got to reach in there and kind of feel where it starts to bend at. But you can get his arm back pretty far, and then of course, your coat, you want to make sure that that's not bunching up at any of the joints, just like all of the other Mezcos. So I think for what I'm interested in with this figure, even without the light up stuff, even if it doesn't really show well in the eyes, I think it's really going to come through. Guy's really neat. And let's throw a hat on him. There's a lot to assembling these guys. I kind of see the creeper from Scooby Doo in there a little bit too. Creeper. I can kind of see that in there with this guy, but man, do some Halloween pictures with this dude. So let's throw on just this kind of casual casual head there. So this dude's a lot of fun. All right, got that on there. So this is the one to carry the head with. Now the fingers are not closed. I couldn't tell if they were closed before. So you can actually just hook it in there. And that was the other thing I was going to show. I realized because it's on the instructions that this is actually removable. And that is to make a handle. It goes in weird. Once you take it out, like it fits in there, but once you take it out, it's kind of loose. So there he is carrying his wife's head. Just kind of chilling there, walking around with his old lady's head. So let's get those are fists. Let's see if we can get pickaxe or something in there. There we go. Maybe that's the right hand for that. So where we got him carrying his pickaxe. I don't think, well, his arms are long enough. I was going to say, I don't know if you can get him in a pose where he can swing it, but actually, with the arms being that long, he will be able to. I don't like the ball joint being so exposed on the wrist, but you will be able to get him into a swinging pose with it, won't you? So let's see which one of these. Trying to figure out which one of these will be the best to hold some of his tools with. Yes, no, that, man, that don't look right. That looks like that's too, I don't think that's going to work. No, that can't be the right hand for that. Almost seems like it should be the fist hand, but they're so solid. I know some of the pictures also show these hands where he's holding this, pinching it. So maybe this is the hand because he's supposed to be holding it up all delicate. Maybe this is going to be the best hand for it because none of these, it's not going to fit in any of these like a wielding hand, like he's wielding this. So it's got to be like he's doing it real delicate and creepy like. But I mean, it works, don't it? There he is with the knife. Let's put this in there. This one's rounded, so it might be a little more difficult. That one almost looks really small. My, no, I don't think. I was gonna say maybe this hand, but that doesn't close enough. So I think the bigger weapons. Of course, this is a really exaggerated looking hand too, but to me, this is really the one that should be able to hold these because I don't see another one. I mean, these aren't. I don't think these are going to work very well. Maybe. Let's try it. We ain't doing nothing else, are we? Let's take this one. These are, they're almost, they look really good, but they're almost too small. That doesn't look, I've got it backwards, but it will hold it. That hand will hold it. It just don't look right, I don't think, because you can see the handle, and the handle should be through his hand. I do like that the fingers are nice and pliable. I don't know. I just, that's kind of weird. Let's see if this hand will close around the shovel. You got so many options with these guys. Yeah, almost had it. Gotta be quicker than that. There we go. There we go with this shovel and his axe. He's dragging the shovel. Ready to break some new ground. Theodore sod breaker. And I'm almost said it there. I'm surprised I haven't realized it yet. If I have said sod buster, every time I try to say this guy, I say sod buster. I'm a big fan of the song Convoy. It's one of the best niche songs ever. And there's a character in that song named Sodbuster. It's a trucker. And every time I get ready to say this guy's name, I say Sodbuster. So apologize if I said that. That's where that comes from. So getting these heads on there is kind of a little bit tricky, getting them snapped down on there nice and tight. You can feel it go down on there when it gets where it's supposed to be. You can feel it pop into place. But the hats, thinking some of the hats are going to fit some heads better. I do like the big top hat. Just bowler on him there. Put it at a tilt. I always like to wear mine cocked to the left a little bit. Guy's just creepy AF, isn't he? I can't wait to try to get some Halloween stuff out and set this dude up. I want to do a cemetery scene of some sort somewhere. I figured this would be easier to go ahead and put the lantern in his hand and turn it on. There we go. Get him there. So he's. I love it. What do you guys think? He's got so much stuff to play around with as far as holding and carrying. The bag in there. Yeah, if these were NECA fingers, I'd have broken something by now. Yeah, it's probably just the easiest way to do it. Completely unintentional. Finger closed around it. He's carrying his case. I probably should have put it in the other way, but he carries it, holds it. It ain't going anywhere, that's for sure. Yeah, that's right. We're turning that off. I'm gonna have to play around with the mechanism for the eyes and see if I can figure out which head sculpt works the best for him. Block my view there. Oh, come on. Shouldn't be this hard to tie a scarf, should it? There we go. He kind of looks like he's in a frat now, doesn't he? Like the guy from Good Will Hunting. And get an idea of what he looks like with his scarf on him. I don't know if I'll use the scarf or not, but I'm not going to uncoil the rope and try to put the tombstone on his back because I'm not going to use it that way. It does have the kind of notches here where you can get the rope around it, but I think trying to get the rope around this thing, getting it tied and getting it tied on him, I think it's going to be a huge pain in the ass, and I'll never get that rope wound back up and coiled. So until it comes undone on its own, I think I will just maybe use it draped over his shoulder or something. Because I'll probably set that tombstone up, but I'm not going to set it up where it's on his back. I did wish it had a little kick out piece or something to make it a lot easier to stand up, because you're almost going to have something behind it. And this thing's pretty solid. It feels like resin. Maybe just plastic, but it feels almost like resin. But it's pretty solid feeling. And probably should have done this before I put the bag in his hand, so you can open the bag up. And the reason that this hairpiece does pop off of here is so he can carry her around in the bag. Nobody'd ever know. So this dude is pretty great. I'm slightly disappointed in the feature for the eyes, but like I said, till I play around with it or try it with new batteries or both, I won't really know. But there's kind of a rundown on this guy. I know it's long, but it is a Mezco figure, so show his stand. It's a really neat looking stand. And these guys here, they kind of look like the poop emoji, but they are actually graveyard gremlins. And if you read the comic that comes with him, you find what their origin is. It's really interesting. They're actually like mutated acorns. I never remember which way these pop out. I think they go out the front. Or out the back. It's one of the two. I can never remember which way you're supposed to pop these little things out on these figures. I think it's out the back, actually. I did not have this much trouble getting the one out for Firefly and Destro, I can tell you that. Man. Like I said, I've only got a couple of other Mezcos, and well, I'll fool with that in a minute. Anyway, there you go. There's what the stand looks like. And I'll see if I can get it on him as soon as I figure out how to get that thing out. So what do you guys think, man? I'm definitely going to have to play around with some of his posing. But Theodore Sodcutter. I've probably said that wrong 4 or 5 times, but there he is, Mezco Theodore Sodcutter. I love him. He's perfect. He's going to go great up on the shelf. He'll look great next to Figura Obscuras and stuff like that. So is this something you guys are interested in? You like these spooky characters? Do you collect the Mezco line of figures? I know a couple people that do and absolutely love them. But he's everything I was wanting him to be, other than maybe the light up eyes, but we'll see. We'll see. Guys, I will see you next time. I appreciate it. Hit that like button, that subscribe if you're not subscribed. Not all of them are this long, but if you've ever watched a Mezco review by just about anybody, you know what you're in for. There's just so much to go over. But anyway, cool figure. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all next time on 3-Star Draw. Haha, got it.